Welcome to the Misfit Squad podcast,
where we invite you to embrace your difference and to discover a spectrum of possibilities and change what's wrong about you into what is strong about you.
Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode of the Misfit Squad podcast. I'm your host, Kim Lucien, here with Miss Trina Rice.
Yes.
So what are we going to do today?
Today, we're actually going to show you guys a tip and a tool called the Earth Energy Exercise. It's a grounding exercise.
Right, exactly.
To allow you to have more space and ease in your everyday life.
So it basically uses all the stuff that we've sort of already been talking about on the show in a slightly different format, right? Because different tools work better for different people. I don't always use the same thing all the time. Sometimes I do it this way, sometimes I do it another way, blah, blah, blah. So today you're going to see us sitting here with our eyes closed, and we're going to walk through and do this exercise together.
Yes.
So are you ready?
Yep. This is just another tool for you guys to use.
Here we go. This is the Earth Energy Exercise and grounding.
So take a deep breath in. From the tips of your toes out the top of your head. And you can take another deep breath in and pull energy in through the top of your head, out the tip of your toes. Take another deep breath and feel your head, the top of your head, feel your feet on the floor, your butt in the chair or the seat that you're sitting on, and relax everything that you are holding on to deal with everything you've got going on in your life. Just begin to relax all of that. Disconnect from everybody that you may be connected to, that you may be dedicated into healing, and let it all go. Allow your body to detox and to release from all of those connections. Relax your toes, your feet, your legs. Relax your hips, your back, your arms, and even your shoulders. And even relax your hair. Allow your consciousness to expand down into the earth. Allow the city and the land and the earth below the city to contribute to you. Expand down through the dirt, through all the minerals, through all the insects, and through the rocks, and through all the water, to the core of the earth. The center of the planet. And as you perceive the core of the earth, allow yourself to take your imaginary tail that you may have and expand it and extend it deep down into the core, into the magma of the earth. And as you do that, expand out even more. Push down all your barriers and expand out even farther. And just take another deep breath. And expand. And allow yourself to stay expanded as well as keeping your imaginary tail in the core of the earth. And as you're there, can you feel and perceive the peace and the space that the earth is willing to contribute to you? Allow yourself to receive that peace, that calmness, and that space. And let us stay in this space as we go throughout our day.
So, a couple of things. Number one, if you didn't have your eyes closed and you were watching and you could see me yawning like a maniac, lots of people have energy, and the experience of energy and the sensations of energy in their body show up in different ways. For me, one of the ways that I move energy a lot when I'm clearing things or just moving energy is yawning. So you'll see that happen a lot. And so I also point that out, first of all, not because I was tired and bored, but because I was moving energy. And also, allow, when you're doing stuff like this, if stuff shows up in your body and it wants to move in unusual ways or in any way, let that happen. Allow the energy to flow. Don't stop that. It's not weird. It's not unusual. Go with it. And oh, right. So play with this. The more that you do this, the faster you can do it. So I find, honestly, the moment I sort of like take a breath in and I think about the first step of this grounding process, it goes like, and it's completely like the whole thing happens instantaneously, right? So it doesn't have to be, it's super nice and relaxing to like really take the time to go through the steps, right? But it can also be instantaneous. And the more that you do it, right, then the more in just like that it can be, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's practice, and it's allowing yourself to be in that space. And like sometimes when I am in the middle of what I would call chaos or havoc, I really do imagine sometimes like myself like having like tendrils or like a tail.
I was gonna say the tail thing, to be perfectly honest with you, that freaks me out just a tiny bit.
Well, it kind
so
of
I don't really think about having an imaginary tail. I imagine giant roots of the tree growing out of my feet into the earth. So I'm just offer that as a different imagery if that works better for you.
It's funny because actually, as I was saying it, that's what I was imagining. But tail kept coming out of my mouth.
I was like, since when do we talk about imaginary tails? Okay.
It all works.
Exactly. Like when I very first learned how, I don't know how it was for you, but when I very first learned how to do a grounding, I actually imagined, and this is weird because I'm not a climber. I have no interest in climbing up a rock or rappelling down a rock. No, thank you. But I would imagine these like giant, like bungee cord things with like those carbinger clips on them going down to the center of the earth, and it was like there was a giant pole in the center of the earth that I could like clip and I imagined like 4 of them, clip, 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 clip. So whatever works, my point is that all of that works. Whatever imagery is easy for you and works for you, is what you want to use.
Yeah,
right?
But using like thinking of a tree, and
I like the tree. The tree's my favorite.
And the branches or the trunk, the roots expanding out into the core of the earth.
Yeah. Because then the other thing we didn't really, the other thing that you could do is a lot of time what I like to do. I only do this part if I'm not trying to go to sleep. If I'm trying to go to sleep, I do it pretty much like you did, right? But the other thing that often I like to do if I want to do it longer is then I'll imagine the energy of the earth coming back up through the roots or up through the tail and up. I find that to be very energizing. So if I want to go to sleep, I don't do that part.
Yes. So there's lots of ways that you can use this tool, but play with it.
Yeah.
And it really is a lot of just being in the space and expanding into the earth and allowing the earth to gift to you. Like what you were talking about.
Yeah. And again, like, I've had like really crappy meetings at work or really stressful situation, and I'll go in the bathroom and sit down and just like take 30 seconds and like do that to try and like calm myself down, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what I was saying before, is like when you are in the middle of like chaos and you don't have time to like go somewhere and like close your eyes and take a deep breath and do all that, you can actually you can be in the middle of madness, even like we were talking about before, like a live football game, or even at a mall, and just really perceive yourself having roots and growing down into the earth. And actually you can at the same time extend up like really tall. Like open your branches up, and that allows like all the energies to start flowing, so you can have more space and less anxiety and stress and feeling that crunchiness.
So that's actually it for this episode of the Misfit Squad podcast. But check the description and the comments below, because at some point in the very near future, we will actually be putting a link to grab a free recording where you'll have just the exercise to listen to, so that you can play it as much as you want and download it. So you can go pick up that free recording of just the exercise without all of our commentary.
Yes.
All right. So we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us. Bye.
See you guys. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the show.
Our target is to make your awareness easy to use and to acknowledge the power of not fitting in.
If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe to our channel on YouTube and share it with someone you know.
Why fit in when you were born to stand out?
Embrace your difference. Join the Misfit Squad.